Have you been infected by lice and you're trying to get rid of it? Then just know that you are at the right channel. Hello guys, my name is Nature Michael and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about how I was infected by lice, but this happened so many years ago, so I just know for a fact that my experience is going to help a lot of people out there. So let's get right into it. I was hit by lice, I think 10 or 9 years ago, and this happened because of my niece. She went to go and make her hair, and uh, she came back. Few weeks later, she started itching, and yeah, we found out that they were tiny insects, and they were not just one, they were not just two, they were thousands of insects. So, seeing that the situation was already out, it has escalated. The insects were, you can't pick them out anymore. They had to take down her hair, and that was how I got my own. Due to the fact that we literally eat together, we sleep together, we do everything together, there was 99% of chances that I was going to get infected as well. And yes, I did get infected. So this happened 10 years ago, or probably 9 years ago, if I can remember. Yeah, I think about 9 years ago. And I didn't have to cut my hair. So before I start explaining how I got rid of lice without having to take down my hair, cut it down to skodo. Yeah, I think we need to discuss what lice is. Okay, lice are parasitic insects that goes into your hair and stick to your scalp. The main reason why they're on your scalp is so that they can suck your blood. I want to suck your blood. Yeah. So the reason why they are making, your hair is itchy, you and you're scratching and you're feeling discomfort is because of their urine, their waste, and other micro whatever that is going on your hair. That is the reason why you are itchy and you're feeling discomfort basically. So they produce millions of eggs every day. You heard that? Yeah. Once they suck your blood, not mine, your blood. Once they suck your blood, they use the blood to be able to produce their eggs, and that eggs end up hatching few weeks later. And when it hatch, you know what it means? You are having millions of lice again on the same scalp. So when you have not noticed this on time, it's you will end up having billions of lice on your hair before you actually find out that you are being affected. So whenever you're feeling discomfort to the tiniest and littlest or whatever bits, please check your scalp and know if it is just your hair being dirty or your scalp, accumulating so many dust, or maybe there's just lice on your scalp. Yeah. So now that I've explained what lice is all about and how it affects your hair, let's get into the video on how I was able to get rid of lice without having to take down my entire scalp. Now, I didn't make use of that hairspray or lice spray or whatever. I didn't even know what those existed, and I didn't even think lice were common then. It was something that people were suffering in secret and having to take down their entire hair just to get rid of lice. So as at that time, I didn't know that all those lice spray or whatever was going on. So I had to make a research on my own because I was a student then, and I didn't want to take down my long my long sexy hair. Yeah, I didn't want to take that down. So I had to make a research, and then I started discovering the reasons why they live on the hair and how they cannot live on the hair. So you need to understand that these are tiny insects, and they get comfortable on your scalp if your scalp is dirty, if your scalp is dry, if your scalp is In fact, a lot of things. But let me just stop at these two options, and that is if your scalp is dry and if your scalp is dirty. So they can live there and keep living there till eternity. I discovered that if your hair is wet, like in a day, if your hair is wet 80% of the time, they cannot live on your scalp. They can't. They need to thrive in a dry environment. Secondly, is that they need to ensure that the environment is dirty. So if your scalp is 100% neat, they cannot thrive in that environment. And that was when it stuck on me that I needed to make my hair wet 100% of the time. I didn't even do 80. I mean 100% of the time my hair was wet, and I made sure that it was neat. So what did I do? I got two ingredients, which is hot water and guess it, crude oil. Yeah. Hot water and crude oil. Those were the two ingredients that I used. Hold on, let me explain. Now, I did this for 2 weeks, and that was how I was able to get rid of lice from my scalp forever. I mean, I did it for 2 weeks consistently, consistently. Emphasis on the consistently. I did it for 2 weeks, and that was how I was able to get rid of lice. First of all, when you wake up in the morning, you know that hot water. I mean, the one they use in bathing a newborn baby. Yeah, that one they use in pressing and shaping their head. That is the type of hot water you need to be able to get rid of this lice. So let me explain to you. How I did it was that I every morning I boil water. I boil hot water. Yes, I boil hot water, and I make sure that that water is so hot that if it touches my skin, there are going to be some patches of red patches on my skin for few minutes. So I got that what is it called? I got that hot water, and I was using it to wash my hair every single day for 2 weeks. That is for 14 days. So I was using it to wash my hair with soap and the hot water. Like literally, when I poured the hot water on my scalp, I would see the lice falling off because they cannot thrive at such high temperature. Another thing I forgot to mention is that they can't thrive at high temperature. Like the temperature has to be optimum. It has to be, it can't be too cold, it can't be too hot, it just has to be optimum. So when you increase the temperature of your hair, they can't thrive in that environment. And that is what I did. I got hot water, and I always wash my hair with it every single day for, yeah, for 14 days. That is for 2 weeks. Then after washing my scalp, I don't dry my hair. I leave my hair, okay, I dry to some extent because I needed, the dropping of the water to decrease to some extent. So I dry a little bit of the hair, a little bit of the water from my hair. Then I get, what is it called? Crude oil. When I mean crude oil, you know that oil that comes out of your generator, the one that has been in that generator, and they say we need to change the oil. That was what I got. You need to get that oil. Now if you are living in an environment where if you put that amount of oil on your hair, it's definitely going to be staining objects, your bed sheets, your pillowcase, and the rest of them. You can get methylated balm. I'm going to put a picture up here. That was what I used because at some point I noticed that if I kept using crude oil, I was going to stain everything in the house. So I got methylated balm. Yeah, methylated balm has traces of crude oil in it. In fact, it is made from crude oil. That is the byproduct of crude oil. So I literally used it. Anytime I washed my hair in the morning, I applied a lot of it. My scalp is going to be like my scalp was on fire. Like that mentholated feeling, it was all in my scalp. I was feeling it, and then I literally could see lice falling off my shoulder. I'm not even joking. I literally saw lice. Like when I touched my shoulder like this, yeah, they were lice. Yeah, I kept using the mentholated balm and then the hot water every day, every day. So because of the high temperature, and because my hair is always wet, and because I used crude oil that they can't breathe, they all died off. Both the eggs, both the insects, the mama, the pikin, all of them. they died off. Yeah, because it's not my hair you're going to drive. My hair is not your house, and it can never be your house. So I kept on using these two ingredients for the 2 weeks, and it worked for me. And I know for a fact that it's going to work for somebody out there. That is the reason why I'm putting out this information, because I know for a fact that there is someone out there that don't have the luxury of getting the lice spray, because these things are very hard to see in the market. So if you can do this, I guarantee you 90% chances that you're going to get rid of the lice that is in your hair, because this lice, it's not just something that you can actually avoid 100% of the time. We use comb, we use other things in salons, and we don't even know that these things has been infected, and the eggs are going to hatch few weeks later. And when it hatch, you know once it sucks the blood, it releases egg, it sucks the blood, it releases egg, and that is how it keeps multiplying and multiplying and multiplying, to the extent that you could not take it anymore, so you would have to cut your entire hair down. So to avoid that, I would advise you to always check your scalp anytime that you're feeling unusual itch, because these eggs, when they get into your scalp, you're going to be feeling unusual itch. That does not mean that any itch you feel is coming from a lice infestation. So please just always check your scalp, and trust me, you'll be fine. So I've come to the end of this conversation, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like for more, because I'm going to be on your screen more often, bringing you nice content for your hair and other lifestyle related content. Bye, and see you on my next video.